Starting about 1850, California was quickly becoming home to ranchers, miners, and a steady stream of pioneers. Although many of these settlers were men who came to California to farm the land or mine for gold, women also made the journey to California. Who were these adventurous women, and what role did they play in shaping the state we know today? In the 1800s, women came to California for many reasons. Some joined their husbands out west in search of gold. Others helped run farms. And some women started their own businesses. Regardless of why they came and what they did once they arrived, many remarkable women helped to blaze new trails of opportunity for those who followed in their footsteps. And they helped shape the history of California. Mary Tape came from China. She wanted her daughter to go to public school, but the government wouldn't let her go because she was Chinese. In 1884, Tape and her husband Joseph went to court so that the San Francisco schools would admit their daughter. The court said,
"To deny a child born of Chinese parents in this state entrance to the public schools would be a violation of the law of the state and the Constitution of the United States."
Helen Hunt Jackson was a writer who, like Tape, worked to help others. In 1881, she wrote A Century of Dishonor, a book that criticized the unfair treatment of American Indians.
It makes little difference where one opens the record of the history of the Indians. Every page and every year has its dark stain. The story of one tribe is the story of all, varied only in differences in time and place. But neither time nor place makes any difference in the main facts.
Jackson wasn't the only woman who believed that all people should be treated equally. Slavery is the practice of owning people and forcing them to work without pay. Born into slavery, Biddy Mason knew firsthand what it was like to be forced to work for other people without pay or respect. Slavery had been outlawed in California by the state constitution. California had then been admitted to the United States as a free state, a state that does not allow slavery as part of the Compromise of 1850. A compromise is a solution to a disagreement in which each side gives up part of what it wants. Another part of the Compromise of 1850 was the Fugitive Slave Act. It said that citizens had to catch and send fugitives back to their home states. A fugitive is a person who has escaped from an authority. Because she lived in California, a free state, Mason petitioned, or officially asked someone to do something, the state of California to grant her her freedom, which she finally won in 1856. She also encouraged others to petition the state for their freedom. Mason bought land in California and used it to make money, much of which she gave to others in need. Some women became involved in politics, even though they didn't have the right to vote. Some were responsible for important changes in the state's laws and government. Bernarda Ruiz was one of them. Toward the end of the Mexican-American War, in 1847, she helped to arrange the meeting at which the two sides signed a peace treaty. Still, women were denied the right to vote.
Women were ridiculed in cartoons and editorial caricatures and in print. Just, isn't this funny? Women are meeting for their right. Isn't this really remarkably funny? That was sort of the attitude at the time.
Catherine Phillips Edson fought for women's suffrage, or the right to vote. She helped to gain a women's suffrage amendment, or change or addition to California State Constitution in 1911. Edson also fought for women to be treated and paid fairly in the workplace. The efforts of these famous California women will always be remembered for the people who they helped and the changes that they brought to California.